With new, gentler scented Clorox disinfecting wipes, clean finally smells as good as it feels on everything from lamps to ceiling fans, even on your kid's toy shark. Oh, ouch. Clorox disinfecting wipes, now available in crisp lemon. Find it on Amazon. Clorox, clean feels good.
Shaq here, spinning fast-acting pain relief with Icy Hot. Ice works fast, heat makes it last. Icy Hot, you're so back.
Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary listeners, heroes and heroines, crooks and crookians, sticks. The audio performance you are about to enjoy discusses casinos and gambling. We do not recommend gambling with money you cannot afford to lose or that is needed to pay bills. If you have a gambling problem, contact your problem gambling hotline. If you do not know how to contact your problem gambling hotline, send an email to help@casinocombat.com. We will find that number for you and provide it to you. Our host, past performances are not indicative of anyone's future results, including his own. All materials presented here are based on actual facts. Names and dates are changed to protect the innocent and the guilty. Some events, unrelated outcomes may be omitted in the interest of brevity and clarity. The contents spelled with a K, of this episode are the property of Volcanic Dingo LLC. All rights reserved. It's me, it's TRG, the Rambling Gambler. I am just trying to make a living and doing the best I can.
Lyrics, dude. Recite him some lyrics.
Machine or mannequin? Secret, I've got a secret. With parts made in Japan. Secret, I've got a secret. I am the modern man. I am the modern man. Or at least the Rambling Gambler. Welcome to episode 146 of our Casino Combat podcast. If this is your first time, I am so glad you are here. This is a perfect first episode for someone. In fact, in some ways, this may be in the future the episode I recommend everybody start with. It's gonna be amazing. If this is your next time, if you have listened for a while, if you are someone who has listened to the entire catalog multiple times, I think this episode is going to be a real treat for you as well. I think you're going to find some things here you really like, maybe hear some things from a slightly different person in a slightly different voice, and think about them in a slightly different way. And bonus for everyone old and new, for the first time ever, the Slot Tactics ebook, Casino Combat Slot Tactics, which you can download from our website, is going to be part of our audio content for the very first time. First time ever to really talk about the details of the Slot Tactics ebook in an audio format. Every episode, I do something I call the battle plan. Usually. This episode, I didn't. It was kind of done for me. Some members of our squad got in touch with me recently, sent me an email. We did some back and forth. They sent me some recordings they had done. Their names are Katie and Kyle. Very convenient, spelled with a K. They're thinking about starting a podcast. The name is still to be determined, still TBD, but they have done some segments they call deep dive segments. As an example, and they wanted to know what I thought. Just get some feedback. And I told them the segments were great. I think their voices are great. They sound amazing. They play off of each other well. It's fun to listen to. I asked them if it was okay to introduce the segments they did to the entire squad, and they agreed. So they kind of created the battle plan for this. I am kind of making things fit. They're going to start off with a core concept segment and look at the martingale and paroli wagering systems. Then we are going to have the first ever Slot Tactics segment, and they're going to discuss that. And then they will finish up with another core concepts, and they have done a deep dive into the basis of our entire podcast, the core concepts, using some of the boot camp material as their basis. I'll rejoin you in the end in the virtual VIP lounge for some sips and my thoughts on what they have shared with you today. I think this will be a lot of fun. I think this is really going to be great. I think this is going to be, in time, one of the classic episodes of Casino Combat. Before I turn things over to them, just a couple of pieces of information from the Casino Combat galaxy, repeat information if you will, but I hear people have to think, I've been told that people have to hear things more than once for it to really sink in. So please consider joining us the very last weekend in February, the first couple days of March at Sunset Station Resort and Casino near Las Vegas. And you can now contact me to arrange the reservations and comps for that trip or any other land-based casino trip or casino cruise in a variety of locations across North America. I would love to be your casino host. Make sure that you get all the comps and things that your play deserves. As always, you can reach me via trg@casinocombat.com, spell combat with a K. Let's turn things over to Katie and Kyle for their very first Core Concepts segment.
All right, so today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the world of betting systems.
All right.
Specifically the Martingale and the Paroli.
Interesting.
Have you ever heard of these?
Yeah, I have.
They're very popular.
They are.
Especially online, you see them everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of like two sides of the same coin.
Okay.
They both promise this path to success,
right,
but with very different approaches.
Absolutely.
So the Martingale is all about doubling down after every loss.
Okay.
Hoping to recoup all those losses on that eventual win.
I see.
Now the Paroli,
yeah,
on the other hand, it's all about riding that wave of wins.
Oh, okay.
So you double your bet after a win.
Gotcha.
To maximize those hot streaks.
Interesting.
Now for this deep dive, we've got a stack of articles, some research papers, even some historical accounts of these systems.
That's good.
And our mission is to figure out if either of these systems actually holds the key to winning,
right,
or if they're just cleverly disguised traps.
Interesting question.
So what do you say we start with the Martingale?
Sure. Let's start with that one.
No, the Martingale has a pretty fascinating history.
Really?
It goes all the way back to 18th century France.
Wow. Okay.
And it's even tangled up with this concept called the St. Petersburg paradox.
I've heard of that one.
I think we might have to do a whole deep dive on that one sometime.
Yeah, that's a deep one.
Yeah.
It's a real brain twister.
But, so the Martingale basically, imagine you're at the roulette table.
Right.
And you've got your eye on black.
Okay.
You place your bet. Let's say 1 unit.
1 unit. Okay.
And you lose.
All right.
Now the Martingale says double down.
So 2 units.
Exactly. You bet 2 units.
Okay.
Let's say you lose again.
Oh, no.
Now you double down again to 4 units.
All right.
Do you see where this is going?
Yeah, you just keep going and going.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is where the Martingale's logic kind of starts to unravel a bit.
Okay.
At first glance, it seems foolproof.
Right.
We're bound to win eventually.
Okay.
Right?
You'd think so, yeah.
But the problem is, the longer you play, the higher the chances of hitting this catastrophic losing streak.
Right.
That just wipes out all your previous games.
You could lose it all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, when you say catastrophic losing streak, how likely is that to actually happen?
Well, let's use roulette as an example.
Okay.
The probability of losing, say, 6 consecutive spins is actually higher than most people think.
Really?
Yeah, it's roughly around 2%.
That's not insignificant.
No, it's not.
And with the Martingale, each loss means you're doubling your bet.
Yeah.
So by the 6th spin, you could be wagering a pretty significant chunk of your bankroll.
Absolutely.
That's a pretty scary thought.
It is.
So it seems like the Martingale relies on this idea that
you'll win before you hit that losing streak.
Right.
But what if you don't?
What if you just keep losing?
Exactly. And that brings us to this very important concept in gambling called expected value.
Expected value.
Yeah. Have you heard of this before?
Oh, yeah.
It's basically a way to measure the average outcome of a bet over the long run.
I see.
And it takes into account both the probability of winning and the potential payout.
Gotcha.
Now, here's the catch.
Right.
Even if you win small amounts frequently, one massive loss can just completely negate all of those previous wins.
Wow.
And just sent your expected value plummeting.
It could wipe you out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how does this concept of expected value apply to the Martingale?
Well, with the Martingale, the expected value is actually negative.
Negative.
Even in a fair game.
So what you're saying is over time...
You're mathematically expected to lose money.
Yeah, that's right.
Even if you manage to avoid that devastating losing streak.
Exactly. Think of it this way. It's like flipping a coin with a friend. They win $1 on heads, but you win $1.50 on tails. They might win more often, but in the long run, you're more likely to walk away with more cash because your payout is higher.
Okay.
With the martingale, even though you're winning those smaller bets more often, that potential for one huge loss just throws the whole system out of whack.
So even though it makes you feel like you're in control,
Yeah.
it's actually setting you up for disaster.
It really is. It preys on that human tendency to chase losses.
Right.
And this misconception that past results somehow influence what's going to happen next.
Right.
But in reality, each spin of the roulette wheel or hand of cards or whatever it is completely independent.
Right. Each event is independent of the last one.
Exactly. What happened before has absolutely zero bearing on what's going to happen next.
Okay, I'm starting to see the cracks in this martingale system.
Uh-huh.
But what about the Paroli system?
Okay.
Now it's the opposite approach, right?
Yeah, you could say that.
So instead of doubling down on losses, you double down on wins.
Right.
Is that any better?
Well, let's take a closer look at that.
Okay.
The Paroli system is kind of like riding a wave.
Okay.
You start with your base bet, and every time you win, you double your bet, trying to really squeeze as much profit as you can out of those hot streaks.
Interesting.
Most Paroli systems recommend that you stop after 3 consecutive wins.
Okay.
And then reset back to your base bet before Lady Luck decides to turn on you.
So if I'm understanding this correctly with the Paroli system, you're not chasing losses.
No, you're not.
You're trying to capitalize on wins.
That's right.
That sounds a lot less stressful than the martingale.
It can be. Yeah, it's definitely less emotionally taxing.
Right.
The Paroli is designed to be more controlled.
Okay.
You're limiting your losses during those inevitable cold streaks while maximizing gains during those lucky runs. It's all about taking advantage of those short-term fluctuations, but also protecting your bankroll from a major meltdown.
I like that. Okay, so can we walk through like a typical Paroli betting sequence?
Sure.
Just so our listeners can really get a feel for it.
All right.
Let's say we're back at the roulette table. Same scenario.
Okay.
1 unit on black.
1 unit on black.
You win.
All right.
What happens next?
So with the Paroli, you would double your next bet to 2 units.
Okay.
If you win again,
Yeah.
you double it again to 4 units.
Okay.
But here's the crucial part.
All right.
After 3 consecutive wins, you reset back to your base bet of 1 unit.
Okay.
The idea is to cash out those winnings before luck decides to turn against you.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like setting a limit on how high you're willing to ride that wave before jumping back to safety.
Exactly. And because of this built-in limit, the Paroli tends to be much more forgiving on smaller bankrolls compared to the martingale, which can drain your funds really quickly.
Right. Yeah, especially if you hit a losing streak.
Exactly.
Okay, so far, the Paroli sounds a lot less risky than that martingale system.
Mm-hmm.
But does it actually work? Can you actually beat the odds with it?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
The Paroli might seem like a smoother ride than the martingale,
Yeah.
but ultimately it faces that same fundamental challenge. It can't predict the future.
Right.
Just like the martingale, it relies on this idea that past wins somehow indicate future wins, which we know just isn't true in games of chance.
All right, so we've looked at the martingales.
Yes.
We've looked at the Paroli.
We have.
Now let's have a betting system showdown.
Okay.
What are the main advantages and disadvantages of each?
Yes.
And which one, if either, comes out on top?
Well, in terms of risk, the martingale is the daredevil. It's high risk, high reward. It can lead to quick wins, but also devastating losses, especially if you don't have a massive bankroll to back it up.
Yeah, so it sounds like with the martingale, you're playing with fire. One bad streak and you could be toast.
Exactly. And that psychological pressure can get pretty intense. You know, imagine watching your bets double, then quadruple, then octuple.
Yeah.
It can really lead to some bad decisions.
Yeah, you could get desperate.
Exactly.
So the Paroli is more like you're a surfer. You're riding the waves, but you know when to hop off before things get too rough.
Yeah, I like that analogy.
So you mentioned earlier that both systems ultimately face the same problem. They can't predict the future.
Right.
So even with the Paroli's more cautious approach,
Yeah.
you're still not guaranteed to come out ahead.
That's right. No matter how fancy or complicated a betting system seems, it just can't overcome those basic laws of probability.
Right.
Each spin, each toss, each hand, those are all independent events. What happened in the past has no impact on what's going to happen next.
So what you're saying is all these systems, all these strategies that people swear by are just smoke and mirrors?
Well, I wouldn't say they're completely useless.
Okay.
They can be fun to try out, you know?
Right.
And they can help you stay a little more organized with your gambling. But it's so important to go into it with realistic expectations.
Yeah.
Don't fall for that illusion of control.
Right.
Always remember, the house always has an edge.
Okay. So if these systems aren't the key to winning, then what actually works when it comes to gambling, if anything?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
And the answer might not be what you want to hear, but it really comes down to understanding what gambling is really all about.
Okay.
Instead of trying to find that magic system that guarantees you'll win every time, focus on understanding the math behind it, manage your bankroll, and most importantly, accept that luck plays a huge role.
So it's more about managing risk and having a little bit of realism
Exactly.
than it is about finding some foolproof strategy.
Exactly. Think of gambling as entertainment,
Okay.
not an investment.
Right.
Set a budget and stick to it and enjoy the thrill of the game within those limits.
I like that.
And hey, if you do decide to gamble,
Yeah.
try to choose games that have a lower house edge.
Oh, so like which ones?
Things like blackjack or poker,
Okay.
where your skills and decisions can actually make a difference.
So you have a little more control.
A little more control, yeah.
All right, so don't bet the farm on roulette is what you're saying.
Pretty much. Treat it like a night out. You might have fun, you might not, but you know what you're getting into.
Exactly. Okay. So to sum up our deep dive into the martingale and Paroli betting systems,
Yes.
no easy money,
Nope.
no guaranteed wins,
Definitely not.
but a lot of interesting strategy.
There's that.
And, let's be honest, a bit of a gamble.
Oh, for sure.
Well said. It's about finding that balance between strategy and chance, understanding the odds, and above all, remembering that responsible gambling is about having fun, not chasing some illusion of a fortune.
I completely agree.
And on that note, we'll leave you with this one final thought to chew on.
Okay.
If these systems aren't the answer, then what does it actually mean to be a successful gambler? Is it about winning big? Or is there something more to it? Food for thought, my friend. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those bets responsible.
All right, so get ready, because today we are taking a deep dive into something most people think is just pure luck. Casino slots.
Sounds fun.
Our source material.
Yeah, what are we looking at?
Casino Combat. Slot Tactics.
Oh, okay.
A book by TRG, also known as The Ramblin' Gambler.
Okay.
This guy has been in the casino scene for decades, but get this, he used to be totally against slots.
Really?
Only messing around with free play or
Yeah.
spare change, you know?
Like my wife.
Oh, yeah.
She's got a knack for turning, small change into decent wins on the slots.
Interesting. So what made this guy, this TRG, change his tune?
Yeah.
Can you actually crack the code and make money playing slots?
Well, it's fascinating. I mean, TRG approaches casinos with a totally different mindset.
Okay.
He calls it value received.
The value received.
Yes, so it's not just about like the cash you walk away with. It's like the whole experience.
Okay.
You know, the free stuff, the perks, the whole enchilada. That's how he builds these slot strategies.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
So what's the secret? Did he discover some hidden algorithm or something?
Well, not quite.
Okay.
But he did have a kind of aha moment.
Right. Okay.
He noticed that penny slots, which actually don't really involve penny bets anymore,
Right.
allow you to change how much you're betting,
Okay.
but still go for those big progressive jackpots.
Right.
That's when he had the idea.
Yeah.
What if you could apply table game strategies to slots?
Wait, hold on. That's not how it's usually done, is it?
Not really, no.
Most people just spin and hope for the best.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's where the house advantage gets you.
Yeah.
We're talking a 15% average for slots,
Wow.
which means the odds are not in your favor.
Right.
TRG knows this, but he thinks his strategies can change those odds
Okay.
with some discipline and smart play.
Okay, let's break down this casino combat philosophy. What are we talking about here?
One of the main things is understanding the house advantage and picking games where it's lower.
Yeah.
But that doesn't apply to slots, which TRG admits.
Okay.
So his slot strategies are about progressive and regressive betting systems,
Okay.
having a good bankroll, using those player rewards programs,
Right.
and going for consistent smaller wins instead of chasing the big jackpots.
So it's not about getting lucky on one spin.
Nope.
Okay.
TRG is all about the long game. Look at wins and losses over a whole month.
The whole month.
Yeah, and remember, winning for him includes all the perks and free stuff casinos give you.
Right. Right.
Comped meals, rooms, all that.
Makes sense.
It's about the total value over time, not just single wins.
He even tells a story about almost walking away from a $1,000 win.
Oh, really?
Because he was so focused on some blackjack losses he had earlier.
Wow. Yeah, talk about letting emotions get in the way.
Right.
It just goes to show how important your mindset is.
Yeah.
Not just in casinos, but in life, too.
Absolutely.
This long-term thinking and keeping your emotions in check,
Right.
that can apply to so many things,
Yeah.
like investing. Going for the quick win rarely works out.
So true. Okay, enough teasing. Let's get into the actual strategies.
Right.
First up, strategy number 1. Turning free slot play into real money.
Okay.
We've all seen those free play offers, right?
Hmm.
But are they really free?
Good question. That's where TRG gets smart.
Okay.
His advice is actually really simple. Cash out every win you get on free play,
Really?
no matter how small.
Huh.
It might seem weird, but he's got a reason.
Okay, I'm listening. Why would casinos even let you do that?
Right. It's like giving away free money.
Yeah.
Well, they're playing on your psychology.
Yeah.
By letting you win a little, they're hoping you'll get hooked and play more.
Ah,
And eventually, you'll use your own money.
smart. What about TRG, though? Did this actually work for him?
He says he consistently made money from free play alone,
Wow.
sometimes even a good amount. It's about working the system,
Yeah.
using their tactics to your advantage.
Right.
He's not saying he's got some cheat code,
Right.
but a way to make good choices and have a better chance.
So it's not about beating the system, it's about being smart.
Exactly.
Now on to strategy number 2, which sounds more complex.
Okay.
A regressive betting system based on a count-to-4 method.
Right?
You're going to have to walk me through this one.
Okay. Picture yourself at a slot machine with different bet amounts.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
This strategy is all about managing your bets depending on if you win or lose.
All right, so where do I start?
You start by betting the minimum and giving that spin a count of 1.
A count of 1. Got it.
If you win more than you bet, you go back to 1.
Okay.
If you win the exact same amount, it's a push, no change in the count, and you repeat the bet.
Okay.
But if you lose, you increase the count to 2.
So the count goes up every time I lose.
Right.
What happens when I get to 4?
That's when things change. When you reach 4, without going over your starting bet, you increase your bet for the next spin and reset the count to 1.
Got it. So I'm raising my bet during losing streaks.
Uh-huh.
Do I keep raising it forever?
No. That's the regressive part.
Mhm.
If you win twice in a row at a certain bet,
Yeah.
you actually increase your bet for the next spin.
Oh, interesting.
It's a way to take advantage when you're on a roll.
Okay.
But there are also really important points where you stop to avoid losing too much
Right.
and to lock in profits.
Those sound important. What are those?
There are 2. First, if your winnings go over 10% of your starting bankroll, you stop.
So I lock in those profits. Smart. What about if I'm losing?
If you get to a count of 4 while betting the maximum and haven't gone over your initial bet, you're done for that session.
So there's a safety net to keep me from going too crazy.
Exactly.
This is starting to sound less like random luck and more like having a plan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This strategy is about getting consistent small wins while still having the chance for big wins when you're hot. But it's all within a framework of managing risk and maximizing your value.
This is fascinating stuff. But did this work for TRG in the real world?
Yeah.
Did he actually make money using this count-to-4 method?
That's what we'll look at next.
Okay.
He kept track of everything over 2 months using this strategy.
Okay.
The results might surprise you.
All right, you've got me hooked. Let's see those results.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at what TRG actually saw using this count-to-4 strategy.
Yeah, the results.
Over 2 months, he made a profit of $584.45,
Wow.
which might not seem like a ton,
Right.
but remember, he's all about consistent wins over time.
Yeah, not hitting it big once.
Right, not just one jackpot.
So $584.45 is still pretty good. I'm guessing those weren't all big wins, though, right?
You got it. Looking at his notes, you see lots of smaller wins.
Okay.
$10 here, $15 there.
Slowly building it up.
Exactly. It's not about going all in on every spin.
Right. And plus, we got to factor in all those perks and free play he was getting.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That whole value received thing.
Exactly. So even if he lost a little sometimes,
Huh.
those were probably balanced out by like free meals,
Yeah.
maybe even a free hotel room.
It all adds up.
Right.
Yeah.
That's TRG's big picture thinking.
Yeah.
And get this, casinos started giving him more free play
Really?
as he kept using these strategies.
Why would they do that? I thought they'd want to stop someone who's winning.
It's all about how players act.
Okay.
Casinos want people who play a lot, seem like they're having fun, and will come back.
Makes sense.
TRG's consistent playing, even with smaller wins, made him a good customer for them.
So he was playing their game, but in a way that helped him.
Exactly. He got to enjoy himself, get those perks, and maybe even win some money.
Interesting. So you're saying knowing how the casino thinks is just as important as knowing the games.
It can be, yeah.
You mentioned TRG kept track of his wins and losses. Did he see any other patterns besides those consistent wins?
Absolutely. Over those 2 months, he had way more winning machines than losing ones.
Right.
47 winning versus 26 losing.
Wow, that's a big difference.
It is. It shows that it wasn't just luck.
Right.
There's some strategy there that was helping him win.
So TRG's whole thing about discipline, right?
Yeah.
Remember that story about him almost walking away from $100 in free play?
Oh, yeah. After that bad blackjack game.
Yeah, he was feeling down, almost thought it wasn't worth it.
Happens to all of us.
Yeah, letting emotions get in the way.
Right.
But he stuck to his plan, used the free play, and won $1,000.
Wow.
It just shows how important it is to stick with it, even when you're feeling discouraged.
So true. Even those small perks can lead to big things.
Yeah, and it shows how TRG's method can work,
Right.
even for people who don't trust slots.
Now, let's be real. TRG's not saying he's got a system that guarantees you'll win every time.
Right, of course.
Gambling always has risks, and slots are no different.
But what he's offering is a way to think about it, right? A set of rules to help you make smart choices and maybe increase your chances of winning.
Exactly. It's about moving away from that just spin and hope idea that so many people have.
So instead of thinking you can't beat the casino, you're saying TRG's casino combat is about seeing it as a game of skill.
Yeah, a game where you can use your knowledge and self-control to your advantage.
Instead of just being lucky, you're in control.
You're not just a player, you're participating.
Right.
You're using your brain, not just relying on luck.
That's what makes this so interesting.
Yeah.
It changes how we think about slots.
Mhm.
It gives a new meaning to winning in a casino.
Exactly. TRG's story isn't just about making money.
Right.
It's about having a plan, thinking long-term,
Yeah.
and enjoying the casino on your own terms.
TRG focuses on casinos, but I'm thinking this casino combat mindset could apply to other things too.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
This idea of strategy, discipline, long-term value that seems relevant to a lot of areas in life.
That's a cool thought.
Yeah, how could this apply to things outside of gambling?
Yeah, and it is a cool thought. Like, we often just go through life hoping for the best, you know,
Right.
just like people do with those slot machines.
Yeah, just kind of winging it.
Yeah. But what if we use TRG's approach?
Right.
More calculated.
That's interesting. So, like, imagine setting a financial goal.
Yep.
Like saving for a down payment on a house.
Right, a big goal.
Instead of just hoping to win the lottery,
Yeah.
you could use a count to 4 system for saving.
Interesting.
Each month, you try to hit a certain savings target.
Okay.
And if you don't make it,
Yeah.
you adjust your spending or find ways to earn more money
Right.
until you reach that goal.
I like that. That's a great example.
Right.
It's all about having a plan, a system to help you stay focused on your goals.
Exactly.
Even when things get tough or you're tempted to spend.
And being flexible, too.
Yeah.
Just like TRG adjusted his bets based on winning or losing.
Right.
So maybe that means getting a side hustle or cutting back on things you don't need or finding new ways to make money.
It's about being in control of your money and making choices instead of just letting things happen.
And what about relationships?
Oh, it's interesting.
Thinking long-term, like TRG's play for the month idea could really change things.
How so?
Instead of focusing on every little fight,
Yeah.
you look at the bigger picture of the relationship.
Right. Keeping that long view.
Exactly.
Like every relationship has good times and bad times, right?
Yeah, winning streaks and losing streaks.
Exactly. But if you're in it for the long haul,
Yeah.
you can get through the tough parts and build something strong.
And just like TRG learned how casinos think,
Right.
maybe we can do that in our relationships too.
Interesting.
Like understanding what our partner needs,
Yeah.
what bothers them when they're happy or upset.
Right. Like their own hot streaks and losing streaks.
Exactly. That can help us be more understanding and caring.
It's pretty amazing how these simple ideas from gambling
Right.
can apply to so many parts of life.
It really makes you think.
It does.
What other things could we learn if we looked deeper, challenged how we normally think, and tried new things?
Right. Like there's so much to discover
TRG's story shows how powerful curiosity and trying new things can be.
Yeah.
He could have just said slots are a waste of time.
Right.
But instead he tried something different.
And it paid off.
Yeah, he was willing to step outside his comfort zone, and that's how he found these cool things.
It shows we can all be like rambling gamblers in our own way.
Right.
Be curious, try new things, and don't be afraid to go against the grain.
And who knows, maybe we'll find some amazing things along the way.
You never know.
So to wrap up our deep dive into casino combat, slot tactics, I have one question for you, the listener.
Yeah.
How can you use this casino combat way of thinking, strategy, discipline, long-term focus in your own life?
Good question.
What goals, challenges, or relationships could benefit from this? We encourage you to think about these ideas, try them out, and see where it takes you.
Yeah. See what you discover.
Who knows, maybe you'll hit the jackpot in ways you never expected.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this awesome deep dive into slots and the strategic world of casino combat. Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're looking at something pretty interesting.
Okay.
This system called casino combat.
All right.
So this is all about turning casino gambling from a game of chance into like a profitable side hustle.
Okay.
We're going to be looking at excerpts from the podcast Casino Combat Boot Camp, hosted by a guy who calls himself TRG, the Ramblin' Gambler.
Interesting. So turning the tables on the house, huh?
Yeah, exactly. TRG says he's found a way to not just beat the house, but to actually work with them. Use their systems to his advantage.
Interesting.
Kind of like extreme couponing, but for casinos.
I like that analogy. And it kind of highlights a main point of casino combat.
Okay.
It's about focusing on those games where the house advantage is super low.
Right.
Like baccarat or blackjack. But you see, while casinos always have an edge statistically, that edge changes wildly depending on what game you pick.
Baccarat TRG is really adamant about betting on the banker for the lowest house edge. And in blackjack, he says mastering basic strategy is key.
Yeah.
That can take the house edge down to practically nothing.
But even with a tiny edge, wouldn't random betting still be, well, a gamble?
Well, that's where this unique wagering system comes into play.
Okay.
He calls it wagering system #1. And it's not your typical betting strategy. He combines progressive and regressive wagering in a way that, honestly, kind of seems to defy conventional wisdom.
Okay, so how does that work? Combining progressive and regressive.
So TRG claims that this system can make a profit, even if you only win 3 out of 10 hands.
Wow.
So let's break it down with like an example.
Sure.
Say you're at the blackjack table and you've got $10 unit bets.
All right, $10 bets, got it.
You win 2 hands in a row.
Yeah.
That's when you trigger the progressive part of the system. Bump your bet up to $15, win again, goes up to 20.
Okay.
But the key is if you lose at any point in that climb, you go back down to that $10 base bet.
Oh, so it's like a safety net?
Right.
To keep you from losing everything.
Prevents those like runaway losses that can just wipe out your bankroll.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, whether winning just 3 out of 10 hands can actually give you consistent profits, well, that's something that, we can explore more.
We could dive into the statistics behind that, see how realistic that claim really is.
Right. But TRG insists that it works, and he backs it up with detailed explanations and even personal anecdotes of his own success using this.
Huh. So there's more to it than just the betting system.
Yes. There's another piece of this that really feels like it's taken right out of the extreme couponing playbook.
Oh,
And that is maximizing those casino rewards programs.
Ah, the unsung hero of casino combat. TRG is a huge advocate for using player club cards and really working within the system to your advantage.
Yeah, it's not just about like winning or losing. It's about your total action, meaning the amount you wager. The more you play, the more rewards you rack up. Comps, discounts, free play, even what he calls imaginary money, which you can use for all kinds of things in the casino.
So like earning points on your groceries. But instead of free cereal, you get free spins on the roulette wheel.
Yeah, exactly. It's about using all those perks to balance out potential losses and just kind of enhance the whole experience.
TRG even suggests strategically trying to get favors from casino staff. Like, say, if you think your action is being tracked right, you could ask for a rating adjustment.
Oh, so like politely, just mentioning it to them.
Exactly. Or casually telling a floor manager that you're just shy of that next rewards tier. Sometimes that can get you a little extra nudge.
Really? So there's a chance I could just like sweet talk my way into free casino goodies.
Maybe. It's all about knowing how the system works and using it to your advantage.
Okay.
Just like with those expert couponers.
Right.
But TOG is quick to point out, this isn't about reckless gambling.
Okay.
He stresses how important it is to treat your gambling bankroll with the same discipline as you would any other investment.
That makes sense. So let's get into that. The bankroll management, he has a pretty simple formula. 10 units per buy-in times 3 buy-ins equals your total bankroll. And that's what you should have before you even think about stepping into a casino.
So if your unit size is $10, like in that example earlier, you'd need a bankroll of $300.
Right.
And the key here is, if you can't afford to lose that $300, you shouldn't be gambling in the first place.
That's responsible gambling.
Exactly. Plain and simple.
It really kind of speaks to his approach overall. He treats gambling like it's calculated, you know? It's not just a fling with lady luck.
Right. It's about planning.
Yeah.
And that careful
Yeah.
planning. It extends to exit strategies, too,
Yeah.
whether you're winning or losing.
So he's big on knowing when to walk away from the table.
Yes.
Not just like the casino itself,
Whoa.
but the table.
To manage your emotions and keep a clear head.
Okay, so let's dig into those exit strategies. What are his recommendations for knowing when to call it quits, whether you're winning or losing?
All right, so picture yourself at the baccarat table again. With your $150 buy-in, let's say you hit TRG's preset loss limit, meaning you've lost a certain number of bets in a row. He's very clear. It's time to walk away.
But walk away doesn't always mean leaving the casino, right?
No, it's more about physically leaving that table.
Okay.
Breaking that focus you have on the game, even if it's just for a couple minutes. Take a walk. Grab a drink. Find something else to clear your head.
So he calls those GLL situations. Gambled, lost, left.
Catchy, isn't it?
Not the best acronym, but it gets the point across.
Right. And it stops you from chasing losses, which can get out of control really fast and just wipe out your bankroll.
And it's not just about knowing when to stop when you're losing.
Right.
TRG has also got guidelines for dealing with those winning streaks. Okay, so let's say you're on a roll. The cards are falling in your favor. And you hit a predetermined amount that you wanted to win. What's TRG's advice in that kind of situation?
Well, some people might just cash out right there. And
Yeah.
that's totally fine. But TRG's got a different approach. He suggests riding that wave a bit longer, but in a very controlled way.
Hold on, isn't that kind of risky? I mean, what if that streak suddenly goes cold?
That's where discipline and strategy come in. TRG says to set aside a part of every win for your bankroll and another part for walking away money.
So it's like paying yourself first.
Exactly. Before reinvesting.
Let's say you win another hand. You take half of that win, put it in your pocket, the other half goes back into your betting pool, and then as your winnings grow, you can slowly bump up your unit size or just keep pocketing the wins.
It's like you're balancing, making the most of those wins while minimizing the chance of giving it all back.
Exactly.
TRG really stresses that it's not about winning every hand or even winning every day. The goal is those consistent long-term wins over weeks or even months. It's about treating gambling like a business, a side hustle, with a clear strategy for managing both wins and losses.
And just like any business, you got to track your income and expenses, right?
Right.
TRG's surprisingly thorough about this. He even talks about putting aside some winnings for taxes.
Wow. Who knew casino gambling involves spreadsheets?
Right. It's like he's found a way to hack the system, turn this seemingly random activity into something calculated and almost scientific. It's fascinating, and it makes me wonder if this kind of approach could be used in other areas of life, where we just accept that the house always wins. Like, are there other systems or strategies that we could use to kind of tilt the odds in our favor in everyday situations?
That is a really interesting question. But before we get too philosophical, there's one more thing about casino combat that we haven't touched on yet.
You're talking about his slot machine strategy, right?
Yeah.
It is a bit surprising, considering he spends so much time talking about games with those low house edges.
Exactly, but TRG says it works. And he lays out this really detailed approach for turning those spinning reels into another source of income.
Okay, I'm all ears. Let's hear what TRG has to say about conquering the world of slots.
Let's dive in.
Okay, so slots. Flashy, loud, they're everywhere in a casino. But they're also known for having some of the worst odds. So how does TRG even justify, like, incorporating these into casino combat?
Yeah, it's a bit of a head-scratcher, right? Especially after all that talk about picking games with the lowest house edge. But TRG says he's found a way to make slots work for him. And that involves a few techniques that almost sound like loopholes in the system.
Loopholes? Okay, that piques my interest. Let's break it down. What's step 1 in TRG's slot strategy?
Well, he starts by acknowledging a basic truth. Not all slot machines are the same.
Okay.
Some have way better payout percentages than others, and those are the ones you want to go for.
So it's not just about, like, picking a machine at random.
And hoping for the best.
Nope, you got to do some research first.
Research? What kind of research are we talking
Well,
about?
TRG suggests checking out some online resources, like websites and forums that track which casinos have the loosest slots.
Oh, interesting. So maximizing your chances right from the get-go.
Okay, that makes sense. So you've found these promising machines. Now what? Do you just start feeding in quarters and crossing your fingers?
Not quite. TRG has a specific betting pattern he recommends. It's actually pretty interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
So it involves starting with a small bet and then slowly raising it after each win. It's kind of like a form of progressive betting, similar to his system for table games.
Right, so you're riding that wave of luck, hoping to snag a big win during a hot streak. But what's stopping you from just losing all those winnings if that streak suddenly ends?
Well, that's where TRG's strategy takes a bit of a turn. He says to stop raising your bets once you hit a certain point. Usually it's around 3 times your initial bet.
Okay.
And then, get this, you actually start lowering your bets after every win after that.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
So you're not chasing those bigger and bigger bets like in a typical progressive system?
Nope. It's a way to protect your winnings while still giving yourself a shot at capitalizing on that streak.
So it's all about finding that balance, right?
Right.
Between, like, maximizing your gains, but also minimizing those potential losses.
That's not it.
It sounds kind of counterintuitive, but it also kind of makes sense. You're not letting greed take over, but you're also not being too cautious and, like, cutting your wins short.
That's a great way to put it. And there's another part of TRG's slot strategy that links back to his love of those casino rewards programs, making the most of that free play or those bonus credits.
Right, those points we were talking about earlier, that imaginary money you can use all over the casino. So how is he suggesting we use those free credits on the slots?
Well, TRG sees those free credits as a chance to play without risking his own money, essentially turning those casino promotions into a profit center.
Okay, so he's using their resources against them.
You could say that. He talks about finding machines with bonus features that you can trigger with a small bet. The goal is to use those free credits to hit that bonus round and then cash out whatever you win.
I gotta admit, even though slots have always felt like just pure chance to me, TRG's approach is making it seem a lot more strategic.
It definitely adds some calculated decision-making to a game that often feels totally random. But it's important to remember that even TRG admits this strategy doesn't always work.
Right.
Slot machines are unpredictable by nature, and the house always has that edge in the long run.
So it's not foolproof, but it does seem like a way to maybe tilt the odds a little, especially when you combine it with those free credits from the rewards program.
It's about understanding the game, using the casino's own systems to your advantage, and having that discipline and strategic thinking that most people wouldn't associate with slots.
It's fascinating how TRG finds these, like, hidden opportunities, these little cracks in the system that most folks just completely miss. And his willingness to share these insights, it really challenges everything we think we know about gambling.
It really does.
Yeah.
But even beyond those specific strategies, I think the biggest thing we can take away from TRG is that shift in mindset.
What do you mean?
It's about moving away from that idea that gambling is all about luck and embracing a more strategic and calculated approach.
Right.
It's like he's saying, don't just accept that the house always wins. There are ways to level the playing field and maybe even turn the odds in your favor.
Precisely.
And that brings us back to a question we had before. Could this approach that TRG uses, this mix of strategic thinking, using those rewards programs wisely and that disciplined bankroll management, could that be applied to other parts of life?
That's an interesting question and one worth thinking about. But before we get too philosophical, we haven't even talked about TRG's way of dealing with wins and losses.
Oh, right.
Especially those GLL moments, when you got to walk away from a losing streak.
It's not just about having a system. It's about having the discipline to follow through with it and knowing when to step back and take stock.
All right, so let's get into that psychological side of casino combat, the mental game. That separates the winners from those who get swept away by all the glitz and glam of the casino.
Yeah, let's explore those GLL moments and how TRG says to handle that emotional roller coaster of winning and losing.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about strategy, rewards programs, even knowing when to walk away from a slot machine. That's clearly not feeling generous.
Right.
But let's be honest, casino gambling, it can be a real emotional roller coaster.
Oh, yeah.
So how does TNG deal with, like, the psychological side of casino combat?
Well, he's actually pretty upfront about the mental game.
Okay.
He stresses that discipline and keeping your emotions in check are just as important as any betting system or strategy. He even has a name for those times when you have to step away from a loss, those GLLs we talked about.
Gambled, lost, left.
Exactly.
Not the most exciting term, but it gets the point across.
Right.
I can imagine it takes some serious willpower to walk away from a table when you're on a losing streak.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in a casino. That's designed to keep you playing.
It's so easy to get caught up in the excitement, the anticipation, even the frustration of losing. But that's when your emotions can take over and lead to those impulsive decisions. That can totally mess up your plan.
So how does TRG say to handle those GLL moments? It's easy to say walk away, but actually doing it in the heat of the moment, that's a different story.
Well, he gives some pretty practical advice.
Okay.
He says to have a set loss limit for each session. And when you hit it, you got to walk away no matter what.
Then walking away doesn't always mean leaving the casino completely, right?
Right. It's more about taking a break.
Okay.
Changing your surroundings. Shifting your focus away from the game.
Like hitting pause on those rising emotions.
Yeah.
Give yourself a chance to step back and look at things clearly.
And this mental discipline. It applies to those winning streaks, too.
Okay.
It's tempting to keep riding that wave of good luck.
Right.
To keep pushing your bets higher and higher. But that can be just as risky as chasing losses.
So even when you're feeling like you're invincible, TRG says to stick to your plan.
Absolutely. He talks about having a win limit, too, a point where you start pulling back your winnings a little at a time.
So you protect your profits. And don't risk losing it all because your luck changes.
Exactly like that, saying quit while you're ahead. But TRG's approach is more than just quitting. It's about managing your bankroll and your emotions in a way that keeps you in the game for the long run.
So it's about treating gambling strategically.
Right.
Not just going with your gut and making impulsive bets.
And that brings us back to the bigger picture. Casino combat isn't just about tricks or systems.
It's about changing your whole mindset.
Exactly.
You see the casino not as this unbeatable enemy, but as a partner, someone you can work with to benefit both of you.
It's about understanding the rules, using the casino's own systems to your advantage, and approaching it all with discipline and strategy. Things most people wouldn't connect with gambling.
It's almost like he's cracked the code, figured out how to navigate this world that can feel so mysterious and random. And what really stands out to me is his willingness to share this knowledge, to make the casino less intimidating, and give people the tools to approach it with confidence.
I agree. It's refreshing to hear someone talk about gambling in such a strategic and honestly empowering way.
It really challenges the image of the reckless gambler and presents this more thoughtful and calculated way of doing things.
So the big question, can you really turn casino gambling into a profitable side hustle using TRG's casino combat system?
Right. Can it really work?
Well, like with anything, results are going to vary. Success depends on a lot of factors: luck, discipline, putting in the time to really master the strategies.
But what's clear is that TRG's approach, with its focus on strategy, smart use of rewards programs, and careful bankroll management, it offers a totally different way of looking at gambling. It's not just a game of chance anymore.
It's been a fascinating journey into a world that many find scary or even out of reach.
TRG's casino combat opens the doors and invites us to approach gambling not with blind faith or recklessness, but with knowledge, strategy, and a bit of calculated risk.
I think that's the most important takeaway here. The realization that even in a world that seems ruled by chance, there's always room for strategic thinking, making smart decisions.
And challenging how things are usually done. So could you be a casino combatant? Could you turn the tables on the house? And walk away with a smile and a fatter wallet? That's something for you to think about. Until next time, keep diving deep.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Welcome to the most must-listen-to segment in casino lifestyle podcasting, the Virtual VIP Lounge. Our lounge is open, and we have the best virtual everything virtually all the time. The best virtual food and drink served in any virtual VIP lounge anywhere on the interwebs, guaranteed, or your money back. As always, if you can, press pause, pour yourself something, fix a plate. I'm going high-end today. I really am. As I said, this came together really quick. It was really last minute. I am going nuts here. I have a nice, wonderful glass of still water with one ice cube. Not going crazy. But what'd you think? What did you think? Not all perfect, right? Little nerves there, maybe. A little just kind of sorting it out there. I'm not sure. One or two of the things on slot tactics was completely perfect. But hey, I thought that was a great way for someone to learn the Casino Combat slot tactics approach to slot play. I thought that was really good. I thought the Paroli-Martingale conversation was really interesting. Obviously, those historic wagering systems, those older wagering systems, certainly formed the basis for my thought. If you didn't hear it there, I certainly hope you would have heard that there's some progressive and regressive wagering types from the core concepts that are being discussed there when we talk about Paroli and Martingale. Just really good stuff. I thought they did a great job. The secret. I think it's probably out, but let me just jump right in there. Happy to announce, thrilled to announce, if we weren't always moving so fast and breaking some things, this would probably be bigger news. But the very first podcast that Volcanic Dingo LLC is going to produce is Casino Combat Deep Dive. We're going to have Katie and Kyle take a look at a variety of things Casino Combat, maybe just some of the ancillary stuff like slot tactics, maybe some things related to gambling, but not specifically to things I've talked about. And then we'll see. They've talked about maybe going through and just going through all the episodes and doing their kind of unique take on the things I've said in the past and give you a different look at what exactly I've said historically, maybe a different interpretation of things. So look for that. It's going to be happening soon. We'll be putting the links out. We'll be promoting it to people so that you know it's there. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to working with them. I'm looking forward to helping them produce this. And it should be a different take on Casino Combat completely. So please, tip your waitresses, tip your bartenders, tip your dealer. If you have a host, tip your host. Don't tip away your wins. If you don't have a host, I am always willing to be your casino host. TRG can be your personal concierge for all things casino and cruise related. You know how to find me. Hit me up, TRG@casinocombat.com. Spell combat with a K. I'll be happy to send you my personal cell phone number. I will, as I said, be your concierge.
Hi, I'm here to pick up my son Milo. There's no Milo here.
Who picked up my son from school?
Streaming only on Peacock.
I'm gonna need the name of everyone that could have a connection.
You don't understand. It was just the 5 of us.
So this was all planned.
What are you gonna do? I will do whatever it takes to get my son back.
I honestly didn't see this coming. These nice people killing each other.
All Her Fault. A new series streaming now only on Peacock.
This episode is brought to you by Greenlight. Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/Spotify. Greenlight.com/Spotify.
For all things casino, and I would love to do that. I have spoken. Everything you heard here is true from a certain point of view. In 10 years, we may find out I was wrong about all of this. It's time for leaving, and I hope you understand I was born a rambling man. Love it, hate it, it don't matter. Please share with your family and friends. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for the gift of your time. The best part of the podcast is next, the Casino Combat Blues.
For Atlantic City Empress, Casino Combat's ace. There are profits in the casino tonight, I can feel it in my bones. I had a premonition, you should probably play alone. I know the house has that advantage, but that's part of the thrill. If we follow the core concepts, the chips begin to spill. So baby, here's your player's card, put your bankroll in your hand. right down to me and you. Me and you. It's a winning proposition and one you shouldn't refuse. It's just the core concepts, the casino combat blues. Casino.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contracts. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.